All right, so picture this. You finally made it to Melbourne. You're starting a new life. Got all your boxes stacked up in your new apartment.
Oh.
But there's one thing missing.
Hmm.
Your furry friend, Mittens the cat. You're at the airport. Hours are going by. Still no Mittens.
Oh, no.
And then you get the news. Your cat was accidentally sent back to where you just moved from.
What?
It's a relocation nightmare with some surprising twists and turns, an airline's response, and a cat who ended up taking not one, but 2 international flights.
Yeah, this is a wild one. It really shows you how tricky pet relocation can be.
So the Nias family, they're originally from Christchurch, New Zealand.
Okay.
And they had planned everything for their big move to Melbourne, Australia, even booked their 8-year-old Maine Coon cat, Mittens, a spot on a flight.
Gotcha.
On January 13th.
Maine Coons are, they're one of the biggest domesticated cat breeds.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Did they say anything about transporting such a big cat? Like, were there any special things they had to do?
That's a good point. The article didn't really get into the specifics of like how big Mittens was and how they actually got her on the plane.
Mm-hmm.
But they did mention she had her own spot in the cargo hold.
Yeah.
Which, that's pretty normal for pets on flights.
Yeah.
But sadly, as you can guess, things did not go according to plan.
Mm-hmm.
When the Nias family landed in Melbourne,
Yeah.
Mittens was nowhere to be seen.
Oh, no.
Hours went by. It turned into this huge, frantic search.
I bet.
And their excitement about moving just completely vanished.
It's a 7.5-hour flight between Christchurch and Melbourne. Just imagine being stuck in a cargo hold for that long.
Oh, God.
With all the noise and strangeness.
Poor Mittens.
Yeah.
And to make matters worse, it turned out that somebody had put a wheelchair in the wrong place, right in front of Mittens' cage.
Oh, wow.
So the baggage handler couldn't even see her and accidentally left her on the plane when it went back to Christchurch.
That's crazy. It's like, even with the best systems in place, mistakes can happen, especially at a busy airport.
Absolutely. It's a reminder to double, triple check everything.
Yeah.
But you know what? In the middle of all this chaos, there was a little bit of good news. Someone told the pilot about Mittens still being on board.
Okay.
While the plane was flying back to New Zealand. And the pilot, he made sure the heating was turned on in the cargo hold to keep her warm.
That's really nice of him. I don't actually know the rules about animals in cargo.
Right.
But at least someone was looking out for her.
Yeah, exactly. So Mittens is back in Christchurch. They get a pet transfer company to put her on another flight.
Another one.
Back to Melbourne. Can you imagine the relief when the Nias family finally got her back?
I can't even imagine. I bet Mittens was pretty relieved too.
Right.
The article said she actually lost a little weight during all this, but then she ran straight into Margot's arms for a cuddle. They said that was unusual for her. That's so sweet. It's like the whole ordeal, as stressful as it was, made her more affectionate.
Do you think that's possible? Like, could all that stress have changed her personality?
That's an interesting thought. I mean, stress can affect animals in different ways, right?
Yeah.
Some get scared and withdraw, but others might want more comfort.
True.
Maybe the cuddles were Mittens' way of coping with all the anxiety.
Could be.
Makes the story even more heartwarming.
Hmm.
And speaking of responses, Air New Zealand owned up to their mistake. They publicly apologized, refunded all the travel costs for Mittens,
Good.
and they promised the family they'd do everything they could to stop this from happening again.
It's good that they took responsibility.
Yeah.
Did they say what they were going to do differently?
Well, their spokesperson, Alicia Armstrong, mentioned that they were going to work with their ground handling team to go over their procedures.
Makes sense.
But they didn't give specifics. It does make you think, though. What more can airlines do to make sure pets have a smooth and stress-free trip? That's the million-dollar question. People are becoming more aware of the whole pet air travel thing. Maybe there should be stricter rules about how animals are handled. Better tracking.
Yeah. Maybe even looking at the rules about which breeds and ages can fly.
I think those are great ideas. It seems like there's a lot to consider when it comes to pet relocation. At least Mittens' story had a happy ending. She's back home, getting lots of love and attention, and according to the article, she's still way more cuddly than she used to be.
That just shows you the amazing bond between people and their pets.
It really does. Animals are so resilient, and their connection with us is incredible.